Are you ready? Let's enjoy. 눈이 부셔 따뜻하게 너무 좋아 다 알고 있지. 슉슉슉슉슉슉 마음은 너에게 날아가 내 마음을 담아 달콤한 내민과 안돼 진정해 Let me 보여줘 자꾸 커져만 너무 깊이 빠진 것 같아 I'm baby what you want 스며들어 내 맘에 락락락락 나와 좋아 나 디디디디디 나를 갈 거야 애그 머리나 Can you be my boy 자꾸 좋아져 이런 슈슈슈슈 그림보다 Very very 네가 참 좋아 Oh I love you boy 나를 보고 있어 슈슈슈슈슈 그림보다 네가 참 좋아 Oh I love you boy.
Good morning, afternoon, evening, everybody. This is Ahmed Taimer from the BNB gaming team, and I'm accompanied today by Zach Lowy, the co-founder of Dracoo World now. Hi, Zach.
Hey, Ahmed. Thank you for having me so much. It's a pleasure to be here on BNB Chain, Binance live stream. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's my absolute pleasure. How about you take a moment in the beginning and tell us Dracoo Master, Dracoo World, what happened?
So we started this project, Dracoo Master, Dracoo World, in April of 2021. So in terms of like blockchain age, we were ancient, right? So this was almost a year and a half ago. So back then, the trend was barely starting for P2E. Everyone was starting to get into it, right? So we started building Dracoo Master as a really high quality deck building card game. So PvP and PvE versions. Basically very roguelike. We had a lot of good ideas. It was a high quality, very good animation game. But we realized quickly, like within half a year, by the end of 2021, we realized that there was a small problem with the P2E earning method in terms of the death spiral, right? So that was when we started having ideas of how do we go by this, how do we fix this. So the first steps that we took, we started including many burn mechanisms. We started having soft staking. So those were the first steps we took. So burn mechanisms like to upgrade, to evolve, to be more powerful in the game, to have various skins, various materials that you need, etc., etc. So this was our first steps. But within a couple months, we also realized that these steps weren't enough. So what can we do to keep the game continuing, to keep the NFTs continuing and the token prices continuing, right? Or the tokens in general. It would be to have continuity. So what we thought of was then to have multiple game titles, multiple, not only within the same game, different game modes that are more fun, that are more skill-based. So it becomes kind of like skill to earn, fun to earn, and there's continuity with different games. So it appeals to different audiences and they can come play all your different games. So that was the next step. And then, so this step was good. We think it will help and it helps. But we are also thinking even further than that. So how can we make the economy more sustainable, even more so than just continuing with multiple game titles? Is to eventually come to a point where we have a creator's economy and where the economy is circular. So people are putting back into the economy as well as taking out. So when they create, maybe they can earn from their creations. When they have a social community, they're able to participate more. And this drives more people. And the DAUs are MAUs are really important in our world, right? So that was the idea behind it, and that's why we've gone through a rebranding. We just launched our website like yesterday for the new Dracoo World website. It's a lot of exciting updates, and I hope to take you through that a bit more later on as well.
Congratulations on launching the website and evolving in general. I'm very glad to hear this as more and more projects like yours own is evolving in the state. It's good for all of us. Which leads me to ask, what are your thoughts on the token economy and the current state of GameFi or gaming on the blockchain?
That's a very good question. In fact, I've been attending a lot of conference lately, and I always discuss with the guilds and the other GameFi projects. It's like one of my favorite topics to talk about. So in terms of like, because I speak to a lot of guilds, right? I see a lot of them pivoting. One of my favorite guilds, Morpheus, I really like the founders there. They are moving towards esports, and I think this is a really big part of it, whereby you can get a lot of people playing at a high level in various games, and when you have things like skill to earn and fun to earn, it's I think it will be a big part of the Web3 world gaming moving forward as well. I do think that in general, like I mentioned earlier, the economies of the play to earn don't work anymore, and I think we were talking a little bit about this just before we started this live stream as well.
Yeah,
and
that
yes,
was live. That was you and I talking.
yeah. So yeah, I do think there's a big shift in terms of how play to earns are going to work. It's going to shift towards skill to earn, fun to earn, and then eventually maybe even like will all of the things be on chain? Will this is a question we have to ask ourselves: is there a necessity, or will it be partially? What kind of creators economy are we doing? How to make it circular, etc. So this is the general movement shift that I see. So actually, let me start off with a quick demo of Dracoo Master, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah. So let me share my screen. So Dracoo Master is the first game that we built. We're currently top 10 on the BNB chain. So I would like to show like what we've already built, and then talk about what we're building and going to do later on as well.
I believe we'd love to share that with everybody, and then continue the conversations to know what's upcoming with Dracoo.
Thank you. All right. So you have here, this is our landing page. Well, not landing page, landing part of the game, the first screen. So you can see this is the Dracoo Master game. It's a deck building card game where you have 3 NFTs. So each NFT has 6 body parts, and each body part corresponds to a card. So like 4 cards and 2 passive abilities. So basically, currently we have 3 modes, right? The adventure mode, the deathmatch mode, and the arena mode. So the adventure mode is the full PvE. There are 20 levels of difficulty. So each level of difficulty, you have different like things that you can do that make it harder for you. So when you start the PvE, okay, I'm at a higher level of difficulty, so I get some additional benefits. There are artifacts in the game which can help you. Like, for example, the Holy Shield, right? It gives you like 7 shield every time you start the game. So you can see like this is the map when you start playing. It's completely random. Every map every time you play, it's different. You can choose different paths. Different paths, you meet different enemies. Sometimes you get artifacts. You can go to a store to purchase better cards or better artifacts. Or sometimes you hit a treasure chest, or there's a question mark in which you have a story. But just to keep it real simple, let's go into have a quick fight. Have a look at the fights. So yeah, all types of cards. Area effect cards. You can choose who you want to attack as well. You can put a shield on yourself, and you also have summoner passive abilities whereby you can heal yourself, right? And let me play this real quick. It will just take 30 seconds and I'll get through it. There are different effects, of course. This one gives you extra energy the next turn. Yeah, and various things like that. So let me try to get through this real quick. The discard pile. So there are currently 3 different races. The one you see in front is the plant race. The 2 at the back are the lava race. So the lava race are kind of like the attacking, the ferocious ones. And then you also have the support race, which is actually not shown here, but it's blue in color. They are the ocean race, and they are kind of the supports, yeah, in the game. So let me finish this guy off. I'm almost done. So of course but I'm really familiar with my team, so I'm not going to explain everything. But when you finish, you get some gold coins, and you also get this BS, because this is a P2E kind of the version of this game. BAS is our in-game token, so we have 2 tokens, the DRA and the BAS. So BAS is the in-game token. And then, but more interestingly, every time you complete a fight, you get a new card. So all these cards are random. They're different. There's so many different kinds of passive abilities, buffs and debuffs. that you can, every time you play, you can pick a different route to go down. Like sometimes you can be like a scorched deck, right? Or sometimes you can be whatever, a weakness deck. Yeah, and you can choose which Dracoo you want to assign it to. And there you have it. So that's kind of this first version of the game where we had the adventure mode. Okay, then there's the arena mode where it's a pure normal PvP where you take your NFTs versus other people NFTs. But most interestingly is we've also built a deathmatch mode whereby it's skill to earn deathmatch. Yeah, so that's currently kind of what we've built for our first game, Dracoo Master within the Dracoo world.
What's the deathmatch mode though? Is the winner gets the cards of the loser?
No. So for the deathmatch mode, it's kind of like you need to put a little bit of BAS in before you can participate, and then all this BAS goes to a pool, and the top 50 players of that day will get to split the pool prizes. And so basically, what happens is you don't use your own NFTs. You use as long as you're an NFT holder, you can play. And then once you put in BAS, you get an entry ticket. And then once you get your entry ticket, you start building your own deck. So basically, you get to build like maybe 5-6 cards and then 2 passive abilities. And then with that, you fight against other people. So it's a lot of like how you pick your cards to build your deck, and then how you battle it out, and how you and then you get to battle many different kinds of people.
That sounds like a lovely mini esports idea inside the game.
Yeah. So this is one of the things that we built in order to encourage the burn within the game and also to have skill to earn.
I also believe that you have a player versus player season coming up.
Oh yeah, that's right. So we do have a PvP season 2 coming up. It's coming up probably sometime early November. So there'll be rewards for the top 50 to 100 players. Very enticing rewards. So if you already have your team, I believe there are quite a number of guilds that are already training for this. They're building out the teams. They're evolving and strengthening their Dracoos with the mechanisms in game. And yeah, I'm looking forward to having all the guilds and all the players come together in the PvP in the next season.
Fair enough. And what's the new race of Dracoo Dracoo World NFTs now? How do they look?
Right. Yeah, that's a great question. So basically, they're going to be called the mechanical race. So I'm going to keep some suspense in this because I'm not allowed to share too much. We're going to do some market sharing probably at the end of this month.
I found that I think you can share more.
Okay, so they are kind of going to be, so currently we have like the tank race, the support, and then the carries, right? So we're going to have them be kind of like hard tank / support race. So it's kind of like more of a blend and a bit more on the tanky side. So it's going to be interesting. They're going to, of course, have new abilities and different things that they can do.
Fair enough. And do you have any planned activities for World Cup or not yet?
Yeah. So this is actually one big part of the Dracoo ecosystem that's going to come out in Dracoo World. So I think one of the more important things that we were thinking for Dracoo World is to bring in more people, not only from the Web3 world, but the Web2 world as well as to keep growing the Web3 community, right? So one of the things that a lot of people are very interested in is the World Cup. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 things. First off is our new game, Champion of Champions, COC, is going to have a kind of a World Cup mode in it. And also in the current Dracoo Master that you see, we're going to have like a raffle thing related to the World Cup. So stay tuned for more updates on that.
Maybe a mini esports World Cup event as well in the deathmatch.
Maybe. Yeah.
Fair enough. Thank you very much for that, Zach. And I believe maybe let's take a bit of questions from the Q&A in the comments.
Yeah, sure. I would love to give a sneak peek of what our new COC would look like as well, just before we hit that.
Then let's do that before.
Yes. Now, I'm not allowed to play this video by right, but I'm gonna show just 5 seconds of it.
Oh, don't worry, no one is watching this. We're not live yet.
Yeah, no one but my marketing team, right? And then I'll get in trouble with them. Yeah. Yeah, so you can kind of see how this is just one of the game modes in our new game, whereby you try to get through an obstacle course versus a lot of other competitors. There's also going to be something related to the World Cup, like I said in it. So yeah, stay tuned for COC.
I'm gonna need the demo mode for that, by the way, Zach.
For sure, I'll share it with you once you get the link.
Don't worry, it's not going online. All right, I believe Mofa is asking any quiz or reward. No, but good idea. Let's do that in the future. What are the in-game tokens used for by Crypto Potato?
Yeah, so great question. There are quite a lot of because we've worked. So we've actually gone through a couple phases. Like I said, we started as a pure P2E, and then we moved to try to solve the tokenomics issue, and then we moved to have continuity, and then we moved to create like a creators economy and social stuff, right? So in the second phase, we really worked on our tokenomics a lot. We started creating a lot of burn. So this includes like strengthening, whereby you need to use, of course, some of the in-game tokens to strengthen your cards. It also includes evolving. So evolving not only improves the stats of your Dracoo, it also increases the amount of the earn you can get per day when you play in P2E. So this is something quite interesting for us as well. And on top of that, of course, you can purchase materials in the marketplace. You can purchase summoners. You have to spend some of your in-game token in order to play the PvP or the deathmatch versions. So there are quite a lot of use cases, utility for our in-game token in that sense. Yeah.
Thank you for that, Zach. I believe that's all the questions that we have. I do have one more though. After the rebranding from Dracoo Master to Dracoo World, and clearly COC is close to launching, what are the plans that you guys working on? Are you going to have them integrate all together at some point, or are you planning on building independent titles and independent games? How do you picture evolving in the space?
Great question, Ahmed. So Dracoo World is going to be kind of like a Dracooverse, but I don't foresee it being a complete standalone metaverse because that involves a lot of other things. But I do see us being a part of another bigger metaverse, or at least having us focus on kind of like a social world, whereby people are very focused on the Dracoo IPs of things. So this includes like live streaming, Twitch gaming, multiple game titles, a game incubator, and where you can create your own maps for the different games as well. So in terms of Dracoo World, right now we are ready to launch our PvP Season 2. We're also going to launch the Deathmatch official first season. This is all happening in November. And we are also having the raffle/wagering system for the World Cup coming up in November as well. So quite an exciting month. So that's for the very short term. We will also be looking to launch our DRA token and within this year, hopefully. And then the launch of the new COC will probably be coming out early next year. So that's for the short term for us.
Great. And whether you decide to be your own metaverse or a part of another, or not even at all, I believe as long as you keep pushing out great gaming content, people will still gravitate towards it. We do have one more question that I saw on the comments that I would like to address very quickly. When will the Dracoo Championship take place?
Okay, so we started the thoughts of the Dracoo Championship probably a few months back, where we want to have a really big championship. Right now, we're focusing on the PvP Season 2. The rewards there are very good. But what we really want to do for the Dracoo Master Championship is when we have higher amounts of DAU and more players coming in. So currently, I think we're running maybe 3,000 to 4,000 DAU kind of thing. So we want to get more players in. We want to build more different modes, and then we'll have an even bigger championship. So But you can treat the PvP season 2 as kind of like a big. It's going to be have rewards, and it's going to be skill to earn as well. So that'll be interesting as well.
Fair enough. That sounds amazing, Zach. And there are more questions coming in the comment.
Sure, I'm happy to answer some of them.
Is the full launch of COC, I believe you answered that earlier, which is early next year.
Yeah, so we've kind of already launched the first game, Dracoo Master, with the rental systems, with the PvP mode, second season coming up. And then for COC, please stay tuned. We will update on Twitter as well.
Fair enough. I believe that's all the questions that we have for today. Is there anything more that you would like to add, Zach?
I would like to add that I look forward to seeing a lot of you BNB chain people coming up to support one of the top 10 games on your own chain, Dracoo World. So yeah, and very happy to be here. Looking forward to having a lot of new launches in the month of November.
Hopefully so. And thank you very much for your time today and for the great talk. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to us. I was accompanied today by Zach Loy, the co-founder of Dracoo World. I'm Ahmed Hemar from the BNB Chain Gaming team. Thank you very much for your time and have a great day.